So now, sir, before I begin the next assessment, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Cabatingan, your next PT for this session. So before I begin, I'd like to ask for your full name and your birthday for verification purposes.
My name is Joseph Anderson Bernardo and my birthday is October 2004.
Okay, sir. So for the next assessment, we'll be doing what you call the limb girth measurement. So for this test or assessment, this will help us determine if there's any possible or presence of edema among your limbs, which includes your upper and your lower limbs, or your arms or your legs. So to do this, sir, we'll be measuring different areas of 2 inches increments from your arm and your legs to determine if there's any presence of edema, which will be seen when we compare the left and the right limbs results. Okay, sir. So for this one, I'll be using my tape measure to measure the girth of your limbs, and then my ball pen to mark different landmarks where I measure, and as well as in writing the results of the measurement. Okay. Now, sir, I want you to lay down for this one. So lay your head here. Okay. Then just relax, sir. Put your arms like that. Relax. Okay, I'll be raising this so it will prevent from making any deviations from the measurement. Okay. So now we'll be locating our landmark, which is your bony prominence nearest to the possible edema area. So we'll be using your medial epicondyle as your reference. So this right here, sir, there's bony prominence. Okay, so from here, I'll be marking it. Okay, so this will be the starting point. So now I'll be measuring 2 inches increments from that point. That will be where I will measure. Okay. So 2 inches, 1, 2. Then lastly. Okay. So going downwards. Relax, sir. Are you comfortable?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, sir. Now we'll be measuring. So let's just start here. Breathe, sir. Relax. So about, let's say 26.5 from your elbow. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8. Okay, so from there, sir, we're going to be measuring upwards. So here we have is 26.5. Next we have is about 29 or 28.5. Let's say it's 30. Lastly, this 3.5. Now let's go down. Yes, sir. Okay. I'll be taking the measurement. So let's say it's 26. 24. Sorry. This side. Downwards. Lastly. It's 5. So we're done taking your right upper extremity limb. So we'll be taking the left side. So assuming that we have taken the left side, so if there's no difference between the left and right measurements, meaning that there's no presence of edema. So now we'll be moving on to the lower extremity. So Now, sir, we'll be measuring the lower extremity. So we'll be basing off in our landmark, which is your bony prominence near the possible edematous area. So we'll be using the medial condyle of the femur. Okay, so we'll be measuring here, or marking this as our landmark. So from here, it's okay, sir. Okay. So from here, we'll be doing 2 inches. Four, 6, 8. Okay, now from there, we're gonna go down. 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, so LE, 2, 4, 6, 6, 8, 10, 12. So now, I'll be taking the knee first, okay? 0. Relax on, sir. So, 39. So moving up. 41. 44. 50. Next. 54. Lastly, for the upper, 57. Now we will go downwards. Okay, relaxer. So here is 35. Next, relaxer. This. 5.5. $33.5. Next. $29.5. Lastly, 87. Okay, so we're done taking the right side, sir. So assuming that we're gonna take the left side and that there is no difference, meaning that there is no presence of edema. If in comparison there's no difference between the measurement. Okay, so moving on to the wrist and as well as the angle or the foot. We'll be measuring your hand, sir. So for this one, sir, we have a technique, what we call is figure 8. So we're wrapping around in a certain pattern using the tape measure to measure if there's any possible edema on your hand. Okay, sir. So for this one, we'll be starting on the bony prominence here. What we call this is your thyroid process, okay, of your ulna. Okay, so that's where we're gonna be our landmark to start. Now we'll be just wrapping it under, so it will go to the radial process, thyroid process. Then we will wrap around diagonally around the dorsum part of your hand, or relax lang, straight lang. and then going under, and then going back out in your index finger side. Then from that, we'll go back from the starting point. So this will be the measurement. So here it is 44 centimeters. Okay, so that's how we measure for the edema in your hand. I'll be taking point of that. So assuming that we have taken as well on the other side and that there's no difference, so meaning that there's no edema present. Okay, now we'll be proceeding to your ankle. So to measure the ankle, if there's possible edema, we'll be doing the same technique as we did for your hand, but this time the version of your ankle. So we'll be doing your figure 8 once more. So for this one, our starting point will be between the bony prominence here in your medial side or medial malleolus, in between your anterior tibial tendon. So we'll be starting here, then here, from here we'll be going below your arch of your foot, that, then once here we'll be going around from the starting point, then going to your the back of your Achilles. Okay, there, and then from there we will be going back to the beginning, and that's where we'll be taking the measurement, which is 52 cm. Okay. So after taking note of that, we'll be measuring the other side. So if ever there's no difference between the left and the right measurement, meaning that there is no presence of edema.